Thanks for joining us down here on the Tennis Warehouse indoor court today. We're down here with the HEAD team and we're going to give you a first look at the all-new HEAD Revolt Pro 5.0.
Today we have Carlos all the way from HEAD headquarters in Austria. He is the global footwear manager. Tell us a little bit about this shoe and thanks for joining today.
Yes, hi everybody, this is the Revolt Pro 5.0. It's a completely new shoe from bottom to up. New outsole, new midsole, upper. Yeah, we are here with the team of Tennis Warehouse, with all of you. I would like to see your first impression on the shoe. Yeah. What about the stepping comfort? What do you think?
So far, so good. Stepping comfort, I had no issues. It fits my foot perfectly. I wouldn't change my size. I could lace up and it's no break-in period at all. One of my favorite things was to see through the ventilation how thick the midsole was. It's so cushioned and yet still very supportive. So I'm really excited to keep wearing this one.
Now I'm with Jason to get the guy's perspective.
Yeah. I have a wider foot, and so when I first slipped my foot into these, I did notice that they were fitting my feet pretty well. Looking toe down, I can notice that the toe doesn't taper as sharply as other shoes do, so it was fitting my feet pretty nicely. I have an E-width foot, so not extremely wide, but it does fit my feet really nice. And then once I laced them on, I liked that I was able to get a nice locked-in, cinched-in fit and feel. So that was really nice. And a thing I noticed when I was lacing, which I thought was nice, was for the really hardcore sliders, there's a little plastic piece on the medial side that kind of helps protect that for those who are extreme sliders. Not for me, but I can see how that can be useful. And then once I got on court, pretty comfortable. Didn't really require a break-in. I felt like the cushioning was pretty good, and I felt pretty fast in them. So yeah, excited to keep testing them.
Carlos, we've checked in with a couple of the playtesters right now. You got some initial impressions of their step-in comfort. Tell us a little bit about the technical features on the shoe. You said there's a lot new going on with this shoe. Tell us about it.
So let's talk first about the midsole. We have three different compounds here. We have a Dynafoam compound in the heel for shock absorption. Then we have a main compound, more rebound, that goes from the back to the front. And then we have a third one that is in the midfoot and goes up to the big toe here in this area, because it's the area where you put a lot of pressure. This gives you a lot of stepping comfort and also performance when you are on court.
And then when you were chatting with Jason too, he was pointing out some of the durability features. Take us through those.
So this shoe is meant to be stable and as durable as possible. So we have a KPU upper, PU molded upper. Also we have this extra piece on the medial side, on the top eyelet, so if you're a heavy drugger. So this will protect your laces, which is some pro players are really going through them really fast. Yeah, another technology we have is the core control. We have a lateral TPU piece on the lateral forefoot part of the shoe. This is meant for lateral movement. It gives you extra stability when you move sideways.
Now, one thing I really enjoy with the HEAD shoes is they are really ventilated. We get a lot of hot days out here in California. Tell us about some of the ventilation features on the shoe.
So our main technology for ventilation is the HEAD cooling system. So it's a button shank on the shoe, and the air can go in and out. And this is really appreciated by most of the players, because in hot days you need this extra ventilation.
Now, I had a sneak peek inside the box, and the shoes come with a sticker, so if you want to block that off, say you're playing where you have a lot of moisture, because if you step in a puddle, it's going to go right through. But there is a sticker you can put on there to try and seal off the shoe a little bit as well, right?
Yeah. Another feature I would like to point out in terms of durability is our outsole. It's being engineered for hardcourt, and it comes with a 6 months outsole guarantee. You can see there's a lot of rubber, specifically in the areas where the wear-through is more, in the big toe area and also on the back part of the heel. So this shoe should give you enough durability for your long matches.
And do you also have a version for clay?
Yes, we do. So the Revolt Pro 5.0 is also coming with a clay outsole for the players who are playing either red clay, maybe in the US not that much, but yes, we offer it on clay and all court, hardcourt.
Great, well thanks Carlos. Let's check in with some of the other playtesters and get their impressions.
Hi Mark. Everybody can see that you've been sweating your t-shirt. So what are your first impressions about the Revolt Pro 5.0?
Well, my first step in, I would definitely say it is a true 11. If my foot is a size 11, it fits to a T. Width-wise, I call it a medium, not really a generous medium. I got a good glove-like fit. I didn't feel like I had to tug on the laces excessively to get, a really good custom secure fit on the shoe. And in the past, I've been a fan of the Revolt shoe. I've always felt very safe and comfortable, plenty of midfoot, underfoot cushioning. However, if there was one knock I could give against it, it was speed. If you're gonna have a Goldilocks shoe, you want it to be a little speedier. This one so far definitely retains the comfort and the stability, also foot support, but it feels like a much speedier shoe around the court. A little sticky on the traction, but that already within this amount of sweat I've generated seems to be wearing off, and I'm getting kind of the proper amount of grip versus slip. I like to say I'm really no longer a 5.0 tennis player, but this 5.0 shoe is definitely top notch.
So Tiffany, like Mark, you had a bit more time on court with this shoe. What are your first impressions?
Yeah, I played probably 20 minutes or so in these shoes, really feeling comfortable out of the box. First thing I noticed was how cushioned they feel. I can really feel some cushioned areas both under the heel and in the forefoot, so I'm really appreciating that. I do have wider feet, no squeezing whatsoever, so I'm feeling very comfortable here in the forefoot. I haven't had any pain. I do have flatter feet as well, and there is a bit of an arch support that I can feel, and so I feel like it's just my foot getting used to it, but I actually really like that supportive feel. The feel on the traction underfoot, it feels grippy, but then I like how I can actually kind of, as I'm pivoting, I can feel it kind of offer that nice little bit of give so I don't feel too stuck. And as I was lacing them up, I actually really noticed this protected medial side. I am not a slider, but it's good to know that if you are one, there's some protection for the laces so you won't be popping those. Overall, first impressions, very comfortable, loving the stable feel as well.
How do you like the colors?
I do really like them. I like how the contrast of this dark blue and this sort of peachy apricot color, good color blocking. I feel like with these upper, there could be some fun colors down the road with that's not a mostly white shoe, but liking this color combo.
So Brittany is our last tester to review the shoe. What are your first impressions about it?
So first thing I always do is do a quick fit check, and when I put these shoes on, the first thing I felt was that I do have a narrow width foot, so they are a little bit more of a generous medium for me, so I did have a little bit of extra room in the toe box as well as throughout the shoe. However, they do have that last eyelet, so I immediately used that last eyelet and I was able to get a nice locked in feel around my ankle. I also felt I had a little bit of extra room in the forefoot for lengthwise, but it was not enough for me to want to size down a size. So maybe if you're in between sizes, you might want to look at it, but plenty of space, plenty of nice generous toe box for me. And then there was some arch support, which a lot of times there's low arches and I need a little bit of arch support. And so these actually hit me perfectly and I really enjoyed that aspect of the shoe. Now when I started hitting, I really liked the out of the box comfort for me. I found the upper was super soft. I didn't have any hot spots or anything, and I was really able to kind of go on the court and start playing right away and not having to think about my shoe. Now, as far as traction, that was the next thing I noticed. I did find it a little bit on the sticky side, but I'm interested to see as we play test more if it'll kind of, get a little bit smoother and kind of give me a little bit more give. But for support and stability, didn't move around a ton. I did, as I mentioned, like that locked in ankle feel. I do have a little bit of movement within the shoe, but I'm gonna work with kind of tying the laces a little bit tighter, maybe an extra sock to kind of fill in that extra space with my skinny foot. And then lastly, I think that the weight is actually pretty much great balance for this shoe. It is a more, I feel like, stable, supportive shoe. And so I think that the weight is kind of represents that. It's not the lightest weight shoe out there, but I felt like it transitioned well and it moved really smoothly. So overall, a great first impression.
Thanks for joining us today for this quick first look of the new Revolt Pro 5.0. For more information on this shoe, stay tuned. We'll be coming to you with a full review on it when we get more hours on this one. And for more information on this shoe or anything tennis related and especially head related, be sure to head to Tennis Warehouse, Tennis Warehouse Europe, or Tennis Only.